Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today, I will be presenting my educational psychology case study research entitled Teachers' Classroom Management, Motivation Strategies and Cultural Sensitivity in Supporting Students in the Teaching and Learning Process. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Ainul Inshira binti Edi Asrul, student ID 2026-90494 from Bachelor of Science Education Mathematics, Group EDU550. This research focuses on the teacher's classroom practices, particularly in managing student behavior, motivating learners, and understanding the influence of the cultural and religious background in the teaching and the learning process. So, in today's classroom, teachers face various challenges such as low student engagement, behavioral issues, and the differences in student motivation levels. In addition, Malaysia's classrooms are becoming increasingly diverse in the terms of culture, religion, and the socio-economic background. These challenges require teachers to apply effective classroom management strategies, appropriate motivation technique, and the cultural sensitive approaches to ensure meaningful learning take place. Many previous studies in education mainly just focus on the student academic achievement. However, limited research has explored teachers' real classroom experiences, especially using the qualitative approaches. There is also a lack of case studies that examine how teachers manage classroom challenges in the actual teaching context. This gap highlights the need for an in-depth qualitative study for teachers' perspective. This study was guided by three objectives. First, to examine how the teacher's classroom management practices affect the student engagement and the achievement. Second, to identify motivation strategies used by the teachers to encourage active participation. And lastly, which is the third one, is to explore how student cultural and religious backgrounds influence their motivations and attitudes toward the learning. So for these three objectives, we address through the three corresponding research questions. Previous study highlights several important findings. Yu and Singh 2025 found that effective classroom management and positive teacher-student relationship significantly improve student engagement. Dak and Bandera 2021 reported that behavior management strategies strongly influence student classroom behavior. Krishnan and colleges 2023 found that student socio-economic background affect motivation and academic achievement. Wahab 2020 emphasized that cultural sensitivity help create inclusive classroom. Meanwhile, Hansakian and Joel 2023 explained that recognition and encouragement play an important role in student motivation. Most of these studies use quantitative research design such as survey, indicating a need for qualitative research that explore teachers' lived experiences. This study is guided by theories from the educational psychology by Senrock. The first one is the behaviorism theory that explains how the reinforcement such as the reward and the praise strengthen the learning behavior. Second one is the socio-cognitive theory by Bandura that highlight learning through the observation and the peer modeling. The third one is the self-efficacy theory that emphasizes the importance of student confidence in their learning ability. The fourth one is the constructivist learning theory that support active and collaborative learning approaches such as PAK 21. And finally is the socio-cultural theory by Vygotsky explain how social interaction and cultural background influence learning. So for these theories, it provides the foundation for the analyzing the finding of the study. This study adopted a qualitative research design using the semi-structured interviews. The interviews were conducted online using the Google Meet. For each interview lasted approximately about 30 to 40 minutes, and all the interviews were audio recorded with the participant consent and conducted in both Malay and English. The recording were transcribed verbatim before thematic analysis was carried out. Purposive sampling was used to select participants who were relevant to the research objective. There are 2 secondary school teachers that participated in this study. Teacher 1 is a veteran teacher with 90 years of teaching experience. She teaches at one of the secondary schools in Sanglang Perlis, which is categorized as a semi-urban school. Her teaching subject is Bahasa Melayu. Other than that, for the teacher 2 is a novice teacher with only 3 years of teaching experience. She teaches at one of the secondary school in Seri Kembangan, Selangor, which is an urban school setting. Her teaching subject is mathematics. So, the differences in the teaching experience, location, and school setting, they are provided diverse perspective for this study. The interview questions were semi-structured and aligned with the research objective. They focus on the classroom management practices, motivation strategies, and the influence of the student cultural and religious background. So this approach, it allowed teachers to share their real classroom experiences openly and in depth. There are several similarities were identified between the 2 teachers. Both of them emphasize that effective classroom management is essential for student engagement. Both of them used praise and encouragement as their motivation strategies. They also agree that positive teacher-student relationship support learning. In addition, both teachers highlighted that the importance of cultural sensitivity. These similarities support the finding of UNSING 2025, who reported that classroom management enhances engagement. The use of praise and reward reflect behaviorism theory, where reinforcement strengthens the behavior. However, notable differences were also identified. For the teacher first, she relied more on the experience-based classroom management, peer teaching, and the tangible reward. Meanwhile, for teacher 2, she prefers structured rules, technology-based teaching strategies, and also verbal praise. So for these differences, it aligns with social cognitive theory, which explain how experience and the modeling influence teaching approaches. So, let's move on to the main finding. There are 3 main themes emerged from the thematic analysis. Theme 1, effective classroom management, which is the teachers apply PAK 21 seating arrangement, classroom routine, cooperative learning, and the peer teaching. So these support constructivist learning theory, which emphasizes active learning. For theme 2, motivation strategies. Teachers use praise, reinforcement, reward, and the role assignment. So this finding align with Dek and Bandera 2021 and behaviorism theory. And for the third terms, which is cultural and religious influence, students' socio-economic background, family responsibilities, and cultural norm affected the engagement. This support questionnaire 2023, and social cultural theory which highlight cultural influence on the learning. Cikgu kongsikan bagaimana cikgu biasanya mengatur bilik darjah supaya pelajar boleh kekal fokus dan aktif semasa proses pembelajaran berlaku.
Okey, untuk mengatur bilik darjah ini, kami telah didedahkan dengan PAK 21. Jadi bila PAK 21 tu, cara penyusunan tu mestilah berkumpulan. Okey.
How do you adapt your motivational strategies to meet the needs of students with different learning abilities or confidence level?
All right, so we go to the last question for the second research objective. So I adapt my motivational strategies by being flexible and student-centered. For my students that have learning difficulties or maybe a lower confidence, I will provide them more verbal encouragement like thank you, well done, or recognize a very small effort.
In conclusion, effective classroom management play a significant role in the enhancing student engagement. Motivation strategies such as praise and the reinforcement increase the classroom participation. And the last one is cultural sensitivity also support inclusive and positive learning environments for the diverse learners. Based on the finding, teachers are encouraged to apply flexible, student-centered, and inclusive strategies. School should provide continuous professional development related to the classroom management and the cultural awareness. Parents should support student motivation and learning at home. For my future research, I recommended to use a larger sample and also the student perspective. That's all from my video presentation. Thank you very much for your attention. Bye!